ever wanted was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. Somebody help me, 'cause I'm feeling trapped and I don't know what to do. There's no one to save me from this hurt I feel deep within my bones. You never think of me and see the things I did. Sold my soul and everything, I was to the lowest bid. Crawled into your poison target every single time. You got into my mind, you got into my mind. But all I ever wanted was you. But you left me alone inside this empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted.
It is the year 2077 of the Reclamation Era. Humanity finds itself at the brink, once again, of its own calamitous apocalypse. And yet still, we continue to fight. This fight, this war, these millennium wars, have dragged across the past 2 centuries, claiming life, taking home, and robbing people of their humanity. We follow 5 ghosts, 5 pilots, 5 battle angels, in their journey to restore that humanity, not just to themselves, but to perhaps the entire world around them. Good morning, afternoon, and/or evening, ladies, gents, and those in between and beyond that binary of the internet. Welcome back to Neolites Roleplay, and more importantly, welcome back to Stardust Ghosts after a bit of a break. I'm Young Foxy, your host for the duration of stream, and I have with me 4 incomparable storytellers, 4 battle angels, 4 dedicated pilots of Seraph Lance. Hard to call them ghosts now, given that they've gone so far beyond that, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Before that, though, I can tell you all about who they are, but instead I think they'll be better at doing that than I am, so in the order that I call you all pilots, please tell me who you are, who you're playing this, I was going to say evening, but it's like 6 o'clock, so this afternoon, and where you can be found on the internet. We'll start directly across the overlay from me at your far right for those of you watching at home on stream. For Seraph Lance, one and only bombastic, brilliant, and beautiful explosive expert. We're talking about the one and only Ninja Penguin AM, otherwise known as Akemi. Hi, friend.
Hi, that's me. I'm Akemi. I play Mika, who likes blowing things up because the explosions are fun. You can find me anywhere I exist on the internet at Ninja Penguin AM.
She do be doing that sometimes, to be honest. She do be occasionally blowing things up, just on only sometimes, not all the time, but most of the time. And when she's not blowing things up, she's blowing. I was gonna say blowing up hearts, like in an emotional sense, but like that just sounds violent. So I'll workshop it. We'll get there later. It's been a while, all right, friends. Before I continue to embarrass myself, we'll move on forward then to another member of this wonderful cast, someone whose mystery and whose menace only separates for the brief moment they show their love and care for the squad mates they have been fighting and dying beside in the trenches. I think this character's growth has been a long time coming, and I look forward to seeing how it resolves itself in the grand scheme of things. Of course, I'm talking about the incredible and incomparable Chaotic Darby. Hello, friend.
Hi, hello, my name's Darby, otherwise known as Chaotic Darby on the internet. I'm playing Roxanne, you know.
And where are you?
Absolutely a murderer, but maybe also a softie? Who knows?
Ooh, woo, not a moto-wo. I'm
Ooh,
sorry.
not a moto-wo?
Wow, I hate myself for that.
Yeah.
Well, while I contemplate why I exist, we're going to move on to our next cast member, skipping over our lovely and incomparable cast of the MB Ghost, who is not with us today for this session. We hope they are resting well and recovering for themselves. We love them very much. Mwah! but instead, passing it over to another member of this wonderful table, one of my personal best friends. I am, of course, talking about Neon Light's one and only Michelle. Hello, darling. How are you today?
Doing good. Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm playing Arth Wivris Tatsunori, our human.
But what
They're alive.
really is being? I haven't done a joke in a while. I had to do it. It's been a while, you know. I had to bring it back. It's a callback. Comedy comes in threes. Whatever. You go ahead.
Yeah. Well, she's alive. Yes, that one. Yes, definitely. She's close enough. Yeah.
If you say so.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can't find me on the internet because I don't exist. Sorry. But you can find me here on this Discord. So I exist there, I guess. What do they call it? Like.
I'm sorry. I'm in love with I don't exist. Sorry. I don't like for something about that is comedy gold to me. But aside from Michelle dropping golden eggs of comedy on us, we'll pass it over to our exactly goose eggs of comedy. And before then, we'll pass it on to the last member of our table, directly beneath me on the overlay, but anything except for the bottom of someone's player list. Someone who has made, I think, a bit of a name for themselves here on the Alliance Roleplay as an integral part of our community, and who is rocking a splendiferous new hairdo. I'm, of course, talking about the feast for your eyes you have in front of you, known as Danny's Corner. Hello, darling. How are you?
Finish it, Justin.
You don't grab
Hi, I'm Danny's Corner. I'm playing Ketty. Someone who is also alive, question mark. Alive in heart and spirit, somewhat in body, a little bit in mind. And you know, she's having a lot of thoughts right now. But her moms are no longer fighting, so that's nice.
We
So
know that
that's
moms aren't fighting.
I really do like that. That does make that has brightened the days. That's I am very excited. Now if you excuse me, I have to clean my glasses still because they're not clean. Very foggy still.
No, I hate when that happens. Well, I'll stall for time to give you some space, so take your time. As I introduce myself, friends, if you don't know who I am, I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest, and I play everyone on stream who's not these lovely people you see in front of you, which is very difficult given how hard they go sometimes. But I'll let you all see that for yourselves as I stop blabbering and instead move into a little bit of scene setting to let them blabber for a while. Last session, our players found themselves camping just outside of the town of Redsham, the place they had been traveling to for so long.
Oh no.
After so much they had done, after stepping away from the military they had fought for so long, after perhaps crossing the line beyond what they should be willing to do, after realizing that there is still humanity in themselves, perhaps, each of them finds themselves in this moment. And as they reunite, finally, with the vaunted figure of one Lily, Mika's girlfriend, they found themselves finally receiving their new gifts. 5 brand new, custom-made, powerful mechs designed to carry them forward into the battle ahead. The battle ahead, I remind you, is the PRV launching a full-scale naval invasion on a fortified position where most of the Heptarchy's military is currently stationed, designed to, of course, be a decisive blow that ends at least this scale of warfare. How the 5 of you, or I guess 6 of you if you include Tamir, tend to stop that, well, we'll get there. Much more importantly, however, for the first time, you feel that you are empowered, separate from all the tribulation, separate from everything that has tried to control you. For the first time, and perhaps ever for some of you, you may be truly free. The evening is fully yourselves. Lily lets you all know upon exiting your new machines that she still has time to do some last-minute calibrations and adjustments to your own personal signatures. Having you all plug in at least once gives her what she needs as far as data goes to get those final things done. So she'll be working on them for the next few days, for the next day perhaps, maybe overnight.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you all have the evening and tomorrow to yourselves to relax, hang around the camp, talk to people, explore Redsham. And so as you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and tell me where you are, what time it is, but maybe we'll start with the evening right now, since it's still late enough in the night. Where are you headed for the evening? Where do you plan on sleeping for the night? What are you up to for the rest of the time? And who are you thinking about, talking to, elsewise engaging with? I'm going to put some cool sounds on the scene set as I need to, but while I do that, darlings, the scene is yours.
Okay.
Oh, we
I
got
love how
those
we're all
jitters.
jumping at to go 1st. We're
Mhm.
just all just jump, 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 jump.
Yeah, I love this. Oh, do we
Really
have
just
those
tumbling
big
over each
jitters?
other, y'all.
Do I have to cold call somebody? I'll do that.
No, I can do a thing.
All right.
I got this. I got it.
I believe in you, Danny. Let's make it happen.
My. So, sorry.
You should
So,
turn out all your lights.
Caddy, I think this evening, has Lily, has
Yeah.
Lily been like, she needs time with the mechs like by herself, or are we good to like be around the mechs?
Oh, you can easily be around them. She needs to work on them for a while, so you can't like turn them on and take them out for a test drive right now,
Yeah,
obviously. But you can be in the area. It's fine. She wouldn't tell you to go away.
Okay. Then I think Caddy spends a bit of the evening. Actually, first I think she wants to go find. She's gonna go find Mika first. Actually, where would Mika be?
Right.
Has not left Lily's side.
Dog.
That's so fair, actually. Okay, perfect. Then I think
So wherever
Caddy-
Lily is, that's where you'll find Mika.
Caddy spends some time looking around, but then it sort of hits her like, oh,
Oh, the maintenance
obviously.
guy,
So
emergency
she goes
out of your permanent snip.
to where Lily is, to where Mika is, which is where
Yeah,
the mechs
I
are being
bet.
sort of taken care of.
Hmm.
And Caddy sort of approaches Mika and says, Mika, do you have a moment? It's
Yeah,
not a
it's
moment
nice
that
you
will
come
take
out,
you
you know,
away from Lily, I
get there right
promise.
now.
It's
What's fucking
actually
bad
still
here?
in this exact same area.
From underneath the like you can see Galahad is currently laid down on a sort of bed, like sort of stomach facing down. From under there, a single hand will come up and just, no, please take her. She's talking my damn head off.
No.
But, like, I need to tell you all the things we did. Like, we rescued Tamir. We, and I got to blow up a door. It was great. And
And she just kind of like again slowly kind of rolls back from under a jacket and peeps up. Just my point.
Never mind.
love you.
Love you more.
Oh, that is very nice. But I wanted to try and connect with these new mechs more in a sense. We wouldn't have to go in them. I wouldn't want to disturb any process that is being done, but to just feel them out is the incorrect usage, but usage that will suffice for this moment.
I think Lily will let us go in. We just can't turn them on.
She's-
You gotta make sure your seat's comfortable, right? You know, make sure all the displays and everything are where you need them. Otherwise, it makes it really hard to operate. So those things I think we can adjust, as long as we don't, turn them on.
That's true. Okay. But this is an experience I would like to share with you if it would be so available.
Well, apparently I can't hang out with my girlfriend anymore, so...
Listen,
Okay,
I
let's go
just
check
need
out
some
the
quiet to work. That's all. But yeah, I have a Bethler and Sound Growler over there right now. They're already mostly calibrated, but I wanted to work on them till later. So go on, take your time.
Thank you.
Let's go!
Okay. And Kitty will just start sort of just like walking over. She's trying to I think she's trying to like take a bit of Mika's energy and put it in like herself. So she's trying to keep up with that sort of energy. And I'll go up to Sangral, and look over. How do you feel about your new mech?
Oh, it's so shiny! And like, I can't wait to see what it can do! Because Lily said she made it very special for me, which means I think it means I can, make things explode with it. But I don't know for sure. But it'll be so much fun!
Well, I believe you could make things explode with anything. You are you.
Typically, you need explosives first.
You would find a way.
this was the only reason that chemistry was of any interest. Well, that and Lily was in that class, and she kind of helped me pass. But I think she was made me realize that chemistry is actually kind of interesting.
It is very interesting. I wish I was more familiar with the subject than
I just can't remember what all the numbers mean. Or the letters. There's too many numbers and letters, and that part just doesn't make sense.
Double mood.
I believe that is the entirety of chemistry.
No, not true. Well, okay, maybe. But it did, I did learn things like, if you light magnesium on fire, it turns bright white.
Yes, there's many ways to make differently colored flames. It's very pretty. You can also tell by the color of flames the level of heat that will be emanating from them or how hot it is. So it is very interesting. It's a good tool to know. But I wanted to, and Kenny sort of walks up, and I'm just gonna like place a hand, I think, on like the arm of Sangral, and so I just like tracing the metal a bit. I believe it is very important to connect with these mechs in a way that they are more than just vehicles of attack and defense and strategy, but they are something that is alive with us. That is how I've always felt in my mech, and I want to feel the same with this one. There is always something with me. Some things with me.
I've never tried that. I'll try making a friend with the Havoc Blaster.
Yes, I think it would be very beneficial for your connection and your performance.
Are you saying it's a different connection than the one that we plug into?
I'm unsure. It could be one and the same, but it could also be different.
I'll try it. Again, I've never tried actually making friends with my mech. The Type 22s are all just so similar.
I've always found them unique in their similarity. But these ones have also been custom made as well, so perhaps it'll be easier for you to feel that connection, if there is one at all. I am...
Well, especially because Lily made this one for me, so I think I'll find something special, hopefully.
Of course you will.
So, as the two of you approach your machines, place your hands on them and try to feel for something. I'm going to have both of you make a psyche roll for me. Now, I know you have the psyche edge, Kenny, you have the psyche edge, and you do not, Mika. So you would technically roll as if your edge is a 5. So you're looking for a d20, looking for a 5 or lower. Roll and hold that result for me until I come back to y'all in just a bit.
Okay.
Because I want to hold that narrative tension. And instead, let's check in on our other squad mates. Arth, Rox, where you at? What you up to? What's on your mind? What's happening for you narratively?
You know, I think Roxanne is sulking a little bit in a corner.
Oh, a little bit of sulk. What could be the reason for that, huh?
What could possibly be the fucking reason for that? I don't know. In any case, I think she's just skulking in a corner somewhere, watching the mechs being fiddled with.
Anything you're looking for in particular while you're sitting here in the corner, or just zoning out in your own thoughts?
The encounter we had in the void.
Mm-hmm.
Do we remember those?
Fully.
I think she's looking at the mech and like flexing her hand, thinking about that last few interactions with before she returned.
Mm-hmm.
Just thinking about what's happened in the last 2-3 hours for the past day
Mm-hmm.
in terms of things.
As you look at your own hands and look over up at the talons placed on your mech, back and forth between the two of them, maybe about the fourth or fifth time you look down at your own hands, for the briefest second you could swear you saw blood on them. It's not there when you look at them again, but just for the briefest moment, you would swear you see blood on them.
I think she'll pull out the metal sheet and then try and quietly go over to her mech at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Thankfully, along with Sangral and Havoc Blaster, Morgaine is still being set off to the side and not being worked on right now, so you can easily make your way over to it and find a spot to put into it. My question becomes for you, where on or in your mech do you think you put this plate of metal loaded with the names of people you have carried with you after you've let them go?
Uh-huh. Carried with is a interesting phrase for it.
It's a choice.
I think a part of the heel, she'll find a loose panel and slip it in and place it back.
Anything you do after placing it back? Anything you're thinking? Anything you're considering right now?
I think she's thinking too much.
Oh, really now?
If you're always scheming, you can never have a quiet moment.
That's fair. And where's that roiling brain taking you right now, huh?
I think she's gonna go sit in on some command meetings real quick.
Surely. Those are always fun.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Probably one without Tamir.
Ouch, that's painful. Avoiding him? Come on now, what do you do? He's a good guy.
Huh?
So, thankfully, you actually are able to get in on a sort of like, it's not necessarily what you call a command meeting, as much as it is that a few of the people who have higher up status and higher command delegation amongst the resistance are just sat around a table sipping some coffee and going over some sort of more logistical things. Nothing top secret or anything like that, but they talk about simple things, including like where they're headed to next. Half of the convoy is going to remain here in Redsham to reinforce the current to reinforce basically a garrison that the resistance has just outside of it. The other half is going to continue their travel further east into the deeper into the Rend to link up with some other forces there. What they're preparing for, they aren't really sure, but basically the news has been spreading around about the invasion that's being launched, and the resistance, including, well, everybody else you can think of, is, well, antsy, uppity, jumpy, maybe it might be the word.
Is there any information that I might have known about or heard about that I can feed to the command in terms of like, I don't know.
Well,
Intelligence.
So, as far as things that you would know that you are like certain they don't know, I would say there's maybe two things you could probably slip them that might be helpful as far as information you've gained that might be useful. One, you know the full depth of the plan behind Operation Phoenix, which technically you're pretty certain they don't know about. Which means, 2, you know Tamir's dad is technically kind of on his deathbed. Not literally, he's not literally in his bed dying, but he's probably not too much longer for the world.
Did
Now-
none of us tell them about Operation Phoenix?
Y'all never decided to take the time to! Y'all typically being dramatic and kidnapping Witch's kid.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, you're right, but okay, go on. You said...
So, those are probably the 2 biggest things you could tell them as far as like info they don't have. Info on Operation Phoenix and and I guess following that, the reality that Tamir's dad, Azan Cordelia, is on his way out, as it were. Preparing to exit stage left.
I have a question.
I have an answer. I hope.
So they're like talking about like invasion plans, right?
Sort of.
Can my eye for weakness be helpful here?
Yeah, actually. Sure. So these guys, for clarity, aren't necessarily talking about the invasion plan, but what they're doing is looking at all the data that, because again, remember, because of Doc, Tamir cracked Doc and Tamir helped crack the commander code to have the invasion plans. They're looking at all the PRV's documents on what the defenses and what the fortifications and emplacements and things on the beaches might look like, and like kind of based on that, they're just kind of effectively they're wargaming it. They're making their armchair generaling it. They're saying, oh well, if I was in command here, I'd say to do this, and someone else is like, well, that's stupid. He didn't know the beach is going to end up getting your entire left flank slaughtered and encircled. You couldn't do that. And someone's like, well, frankly, if I were there, I'd have half my force hit the center beach there, and then take half the force around, split the 2 parts, and circle around to complete a 3-part flank. And someone's like, and have your entire rear encircled and killed off before you've landed. That's what you're doing there. So they're not actually like talking over plans, but they're like bickering back and forth over whether or not their various small ideas make any sense or not.
They're like desert storming it before
Exactly.
like getting into okay.
Just keep in mind, these guys aren't PRV. They aren't like these are resistance fighters. They're not like going to invade. That's the PRV doing that. They're just like, well, we'll see how this goes.
So to clarify, PRV's invading, we are invading PRV.
Yes. Y'all are going to, well, I guess whether or not you're actually invading or going to charge the battlefield or whatever is on you guys, but yes, the PRV is invading the Heptarchy, and you guys are, well, no longer part of the PRV, and thus are trying to stop one of them, both of them. Really up to you guys, I don't know.
Trying to find an opening to get to the capital, essentially.
Could do that. I mean, again, you guys haven't really talked about what your plan to actually stop this war is, Y'all just kind of said you're going to save the world a bunch of times, so...
I think using her eye for weakness, like listening in to these people debating this, she'll flick a couple pages over and just say, with everyone invading the beaches and concerned about invasion forces and defenses on the borders, if you're already within the borders, defenses in other areas are going to be quite weak, no?
You're proposing we partisan it? Have a small force invaded pre-invasion?
Let them fight elsewhere while you take a different goal?
Like what?
Emperor Cardelia is not long for this world. No need to delay the inevitable, don't you think?
So you spearhead charge and cut the head off the snake. What then? Hope everything collapses? It's not a bad plan.
Also be an opportune time to seize a certain doctor's research.
Part assassination, part snatch and grab. You're asking for a lot.
Pick one or the other. I think without the good doctor, the snake will eat itself.
Well, it's not a bad idea. And they kind of pull up another like sort of like larger battle map of the actual island that's being invaded, and showing sort of several positions that are designed to be like it's sort of like front lines and beachheads and things like that. And they're saying, we don't know where the prime delegate will be. I assume somewhere safe, not directly on the front, but among the troops still to provide morale. If you had to give me a guess, it's either going to be, and he kind of points out a few beachheads, or he kind of says, or it says either somewhere here from fortified position, or if they really want him safe, he kind of slides his finger back to into the water. He'll be with the fleet.
If you were an old, frail man, afraid of dying.
Well, then I'd say I'd probably want to be amongst the several tons of steel surrounded by escort ships and covered by a flak field. Which leads to my follow-up. If you were 5 incredibly talented ghost pilots, how do you plan to break through said several hundred-ton steel battleship, escort ships, and flak screen? And I will say, narratively, this is not the kind of thing you have to answer right now, but for the sake of your eye for weakness, the goal is that the table itself decides what resources are needed to get there. So this is me saying, your weakness you've identified is, yes, you could use the conclusion of the battle to spearhead through and attack Azan directly. The question is, how do you get through all the things that are meant to keep directly him safe? Mainly the fleet. So that could be the thing you like get the whole squad around and talk about. Sorry, go ahead.
No. How good are the mechs underwater?
Type 22s by default are not equipped for, are not made for water. They can be equipped for aquatic operations. They're normally equipped with flight packs designed to give them short range, like attack operations for like, carrier versus carrier operations. They can be equipped and designed to like, hover and escort as almost kind of like escort fighters, but they're not really made for aquatic operation. Not really a thing.
And our fancy new mechs?
They can fly. So, how well you handle being underwater for long periods of time?
That's all I got.
It's not bad.
Where's the good doctor in all of this?
Well, that's the funny thing. We don't know. Again, y'all are pretty set in stone on the whole concept that Asano isn't alive, or sorry, isn't dead. Which, hey, I'm not here to tell you that's not the case, but no one has seen any appearances of her or seen any instances of an AI popping up with her ident code.
I feel like she's gonna pull something at this invasion. This is the perfect opportunity for her to test things out, no?
Not untrue. Certainly possible. But I'll be honest, things involving the Mad Doctor are, well, you folks' ilk. Our war ain't involved in that just yet.
Well, we'll talk over, I guess, with the rest of the squad. Possible snake removal.
Indeed. I think I caught 2 years back in the hangar working on some things with their mechs. I don't know where the last one is, though. In fact, I don't know where 2 of them are, actually. Any of y'all seen that mechanic? And then and they all kind of just slowly raise their arms. And it's that point that, yeah, you start realizing that no one's seen Doc around since y'all got out of your mechs. She might still be in hers, possibly.
I'm gonna stick my head in Doc's mech.
She's not there in her mech currently, but it does seem like, based on last activation codes and things, she was in it not long ago. So she probably either went for a walk somewhere to clear her head, or she's off somewhere getting some food, could be sleeping. Maybe she's smooching her girlfriend right now. I'm sorry, her not girlfriend. Yeah, sure, whatever. Anything else from you, Roxanne, as you're hanging out with these commanders, or are you just gonna go to find your own thing to do for a while?
She's just gonna go keep listening into their conversations.
Fair enough. They don't seem to stop you. It seems like overall they've kind of gotten a bit comfortable with the idea of you just occasionally finding meetings happening and just sitting in on them quietly and not saying anything, but just sitting there. Like, a few of them definitely still cut you some looks, but they don't really seem to bother you too much about it.
Perfect. Exactly as I would like.
Guess that brings us to Arth. What are you up to right now?
Well, I think Arth had originally spent her time trying to find Joe to have a talk, but Joe's not there.
I will say, you caught her after she came out of Badira. Not like literally caught her, but like you saw her coming out of Badira after you all unplugged. And she did seem a little like shaken a bit. You know what you saw when you connected to the void. You have no idea what the rest saw, but you venture whatever she saw affected her pretty heavily, and she wants to sort of take some time to spend on her own. So she kind of walks off. Whether she's going to find some quarters for the evening or just somewhere to walk off for a bit, she doesn't seem like sad or grieving or in pain, just reflecting at the moment.
Well, I think Arth sees that, realizes maybe it's not a good idea, maybe not time to speak yet.
But there's still plenty to do around the base, so what are you up to, Arth?
Arth is thinking a little bit about her old squad mates. They were, well, you know, they were a colorful group. Honestly. And she's, well, you know, there was I think Arth is sitting by the fire and has pulled out 4 small knives for the whetstone, just scrape, sharpening them, keeping them to a point.
And with each scrape, you can just faintly in the back of your mind hear the sounds of memory. Commands barked, or orders yelled, or affirmation given, laughs shared, jokes told, smiles offered, confessions given. With every scrape of the knife against that whetstone, you find yourself just barely with the faint sound of something you remember, of people you remember, ringing in your ear.
There's Farah. They called her Bast, but she was, well, she was beautiful in soul, if always covered. No one really saw her face, but she was kind. Salazar, the old bastard. Well, ornery, grumpy, but there's a reason why his call sign was Miguel. Connor was quite the sharpshooter. He had some claws on him too when he needed to come into melee. That was Gale for you. And Chloe. Mika reminds Arth so much of Chloe, the youngest one. This isn't This isn't the time to reminisce so much. Arth pulls the knives, checks that they're all sharp. Not like that she can test their sharpness anymore. But they each go into some discreet sheaths. She goes to go find, well, she hasn't seen Roxanne in a while.
Yeah, so I suppose I think this probably ends up happening a little later in the evening. So whether or not Roxanne is still hanging out with some of the commanders and listening to them babble, I would say that's up to her, honestly. But before we catch up on the two of you, let's check back in on our two friends chatting with their new pieces of hardware, huh? So, Ketty, Mika, what those psyche rolls look like?
7. I fail.
I mean, you could spend one resolve and pass.
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
We love to spend one resolve and pass.
So my psyche is 17,
Hmm.
and I got a 17.
So yeah, that means you both crit, funnily enough.
Oh.
So, Ketty, this isn't hard for you. It's not difficult for you to delve into your own psyche and extend that perception out to feel what's around you. What does feel new to you is that you catch something. That psychic sonar of yours pings off of something. It's not personhood, not in the same way people feel like, that same brilliant, glaring soul. But there is something. It almost feels like an amalgamation, like a knot of wires congealed together and sparking with bits of electricity. And you recognize that within Sangral, just barely, is a persona. Not a soul, perhaps, but just the barest. Perhaps technology advanced far enough to fully mimic enough human perception that it, to your psychic sense, feels a little bit like a soul, almost. You touch at it just to get a feeling of what it expresses. It doesn't speak. It isn't capable of speech in the same way humans are. But you feel its presence, and in it you feel wizened. Experience calm focus, like a slowly roiling ocean. Like an old soul that has spent so long at the lighthouse that it now knows the waves like itself. Sangral is a patient, quiet old man. But he welcomes you.
I think Kitty doesn't jump or back away from this feeling, but accepts it as quickly as it accepts her. And as she's sort of sitting there, she's a sort of smile sort of grows on her face, and she just closes her eyes and pictures herself and this mech, and then pictures that sort of imagery of this lighthouse, and herself with this older man. And she can't tell why, but it feels like this is someone she should have known better. And in a way, this is her getting to make up for that. Though it wasn't her fault originally. But this
Absolutely
is her new
not.
chance.
Indeed. And again, while the old man doesn't speak, the sort of impression he presses back into you against your mind is a soft, lulling calm, A feeling that even if perhaps you should have taken more time before to know this soul here, there is nothing but time now. And that's a beautiful thing. Nika, on the other hand, this is entirely new for you. It's never really occurred to you to reach out your own perception to feel for something else around you. Thus, when you first put your hand on Havoc Blaster, it is silent. There's a cold beneath the metal. Quiet. The world around you dimmed just slightly. But nothing immediately seems to respond to that call in your soul. It is almost, perhaps uncomfortably quiet. And it takes a moment. But as you sit there, holding, hoping for something, you start to, if anything, not literally hear, but almost in the perceptions of your brain hear a rumbling, a low build, a gather, a swell, a pound of drum, a swell of heartbeat, and then, just as it crescendos, a crackle, like brilliant, bright lightning. There is a storm raging within this mech, a violent, bristling hurricane of force and violence and real. It almost feels like putting your head out of the window in the middle of a storm. The rain bristling against your face, the wind whipping past, all of it is energy and noise, and it is everything you think you've ever needed. This, without having to know it, is the feeling, the spirit within Havoc Blaster, a roiling, violent storm waiting to explode.
Mika takes a moment to, be a part of that, and then thinks, Lily always said that if you put enough of yourself into something, it becomes a part of you. I never knew what she meant, but I think this is what it is. She didn't just put this in the mech for me, though. But underneath all of it, I think she's in there. She's over there working with the other mechs, but she's looking out for me. My mech.
You hold up your hand, reaching out to sort of embrace the storm around you. The lightning crackles and caresses again, touching just the tip of your finger, invigorating and emboldening you, and where you've never felt the way it should feel to be struck by lightning, so you can only guess on what it's supposed to be. But by every human metric, you'd assume it's supposed to be painful. And yet, this electricity, this surge of power coursing through every neuron in your fingers and hand and arm down to your heart, feels like a warm, loving, caressing embrace. It being your only answer. And it obviously being a true one.
She takes her hand, lets the energy kind of feel that course through, and makes a fist to hold it in.
Mm. And you can feel that sort of rush of excitement as this soul spirit within your mech roils. It doesn't speak to you, but this feeling it imposes upon you is one of, well, the best way to describe it is excitement. It's prepared for whatever comes next, as long as you're right there with it.
Don't worry, I will be. We're in this together.
The two of you find yourselves in a moment of peace, connecting with the spirits of your mechs. Before, after not long, reality reasserts itself on you, and you find yourself resuffused with the sounds of the world around you, and recognize that you are once again back, well, amongst the living, or the real. You're back.
Lily, are you done? Are you
She looks
done with that other mech?
She looks over and just, I'll need a few more, just a couple of calibrations on this. Do you know how hard it is to superheat swords on this thing?
There are always a couple more calibrations.
Just be patient, please.
I'm not very good at that, you know.
Yeah.
I think like after that, Kitty sort of Kitty comes back to reality. She's gonna immediately go to find sort of go around to be by Mika and just sort of the second she sees her just sort of pulls her, like hugs her from behind, I think.
Aww.
Oh, hi. Oh, I like hugs. Mika will hug back, but like it's kind of a hug almost around the middle, because Ketty is significantly taller.
She is a big tall girl, it's true.
Yeah. And she was
So,
saying,
did
oh,
you
go
get to like talk to your mech?
ahead. Yes. Yes, I did. Did you have a experience?
Yeah, I've never had that. Normally, they're just, you know, a metal mech. This one, I think there's something there. I think you're right. I can be a friend.
There is. I'm very glad you were able to feel that. I wasn't sure if it was simply something I felt because of the way I am created, the connections I have internally, but to know you feel it as well, that is very reassuring. I hope it was a good meeting for you.
It was. It really was.
Very glad.
I think.
And sorry.
No, please, go ahead.
I just want to say, real quick, I forgot to mention a little detail, and sorry, my computer apparently just wanted to hello. Sorry, my computer.
Cool.
Hold on.
You're right here. Don't worry, we got you. We're here with you.
I'm right here. I'm here. I have a mech ability, called, funnily enough, called Spirits Within.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little, the way it is described is a little different because it was just made, so nobody's technically died inside of it. But I like to, if possible, I like to picture, that in that time, on that lighthouse with that sort of old soul feeling, that the kitty also would have felt something that was different from what she usually feels, and it's sort of the hands on like her shoulders of like other soldiers she's known in passing, and other ghosts, sort of just making their presence known, knowing that they are there and that they will always be there.
No, absolutely. No question. That sounds wonderful. I would love that.
Yeah.
Spirits Within gives
Yeah.
you the ability to start with 1d6 ghosts, so go ahead and roll 1d6 ghosts. 1d6 tell me how many ghosts you have.
Yeah. I can talk to them so they can tell me when I'm doing something stupid. Oh, I have 5.
All right. You have 5 soldier spirits that are there to assist you and to offer guidance to you whenever you need. Additionally, if an ally dies, you can absorb their spirit. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. My
Anything
friends
else for
will
the
be
two
with
of
me
you?
forever.
Anything else for the two of you in this scene right here?
Still hugging Mika. I think he says, is there anything I would like to spend more time with everyone? Is there something you would like us to do tomorrow that perhaps we could involve the others in?
I I don't know anything at the moment, but I'll try to think of something.
Okay.
Lily pops her head up from above from above Galahad again. Just Wretcham's like hour or two drive up. You could go into town. It's actually pretty lively when it's not, a war zone.
That's true. I've never been. Hey, Lily, you want to go on a date?
She's just, I literally just told you I could go with it. Sure, I'll be ready tomorrow. I'm taking you somewhere nice. We're getting coffee and you're buying.
Does that mean I have to dress up?
Yes.
I pretty much only have the clothes that I have here.
And she gets up from Galahad and starts to kind of saunter over, plants a very chaste kiss on the top of your forehead, and Jess, then we'll have to buy something new to wear first. And saunters on past you.
Or not wear.
Wear temporarily.
I guess I'm going shopping.
Sounds
Hey,
like
we
it.
can go shopping.
Oh. That sounds very lovely. I am unsure of what this will entail, but I will assist you where I can for your date.
Well, with the two of you set into that plan, you know you either need to tonight or tomorrow morning or at some point inform the rest of your squad members. And so as you prepare to figure out when to do that, we have two more squad members to check in on, at least now assuming they call up to each other. And we can assume the two of you go and find them if you'd like to, which is fine. We can deal with that later. But before we check in on Roxanne and Arth's conversation, let's give our players a few minutes to decompress off of their lovely opening scenes from today. We'll be right back in a few minutes. Don't touch that dial or that browser. Stick around, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. Bye-bye. And we returned to tonight's episode of Stardust Ghosts. Tonight has seen two pilots awaken something within their machines, connecting with a deeper personage within them. It has seen one of them begin to formulate their plan for how they'll save the world, and another reflect on the past, on old comrades they still carry with them in the blades they bear. Let's check in on that one schemer and blade bearer as they, well, let's say meet up for some girl talk. Arth, I guess more accurately, Roxanne, where, later in the evening, would Arth find you? What would you be up to? And, well, afterwards, y'all know how this goes. Take the scene and such shit.
I think Roxanne's in her quarters just reading over some files and data things that she may have openly filched from the command center or borrowed.
Filched?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before in my life. That's new to me.
Filched, foisted.
I mean, you know what? It's fine. I'm gonna roll with it. So, I should mention, even though you are this close to your goal at Redsham, because you are still traveling with the caravan, the closest thing you have for quarters now is a pitched up tent you can get some privacy in, basically. It's not horridly uncomfortable, but it's not a barrack, and it's certainly not a warm bed. But it's a place you have some privacy, a small desk area, a little light to look over things by yourself, so you have the space to. And yeah, I suppose after searching around for a long while, Arth, yeah, you eventually do manage to come across Roxanne's tent. How do you enter? What do you say? And how do the two of you proceed?
Arth. Yeah, so Arth has so she had already probably stopped by looking for Joe to hand over a cup of some hot sleep tea, herbal
Sleep tea.
I mean,
sleep
look,
tea.
okay, Joe has not been sleeping very well. She needs to sleep more, okay? Just give her some herbal tea. Sleep's good, right?
You do eventually find her circling back towards her tent, and you're able to drop off the cup of sleep tea for her. She does seem like she's thought about a lot, but she seems like she's okay and ready to get some rest.
And I think on her rounds about to get to the rest of the team, the squad, she first stops at the tent, where she eventually finds Rox and just Roxanne, Are you there?
Yes.
Oh, well, excuse me. I've brought you some tea.
Oh, that's thoughtful of you.
May I come in?
Yes, sorry.
And Arth will open the tent flap and take in the sights of the various data pads taken in from the command.
Yeah, there's like data pads, there's like maps.
I see you've been busy thinking about tactics. Have we decided on what how we're pushing forward?
We haven't really. I've just mostly been listening into what they've been talking about.
Yeah, that's... Well, having a lofty goal is all in well and good, but and she plunks a nice mug. It's made from like some welded metal. It's not like super nice, but it serves its job and it looks like fairly decent for a piece that's like been welded together and just...
Yes, the execution of such a plan is the difficult matter.
Well, I guess I wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on how we should proceed? We've left the military, damned as it is, but I'm not sure if this is any better. I think Lily seems on the up and up, but, well...
It seems at least we'd have a choice to where we're deployed.
Damn sight better than what we'd get normally.
Hmm. I had the thought to go straight after. What's his name again? Aslan?
Alsan? Cardelia.
Alsan, thank
The High Delegate, as
The High
is his
Delegate,
official
thank
title.
you. Going directly after the High Delegate, while other forces were preoccupied.
Cut off the head, the rest of it falls apart.
Something like that.
Mm.
Although I am very concerned as to Asano's whereabouts and machinations, let's say.
Well, we don't know how many people she's managed to fit in with the Type 3 Geist system. I'm certainly not smart enough to figure out how fast she can deploy that.
And I'm not imagining the High Delegate is going to be anywhere near the front lines without significant defenses, some of which may be Asano's new toys.
That's assuming she doesn't decide to go through with Operation Phoenix, was it?
Indeed. Though I feel that the commander may be an integral part of that plan. The delegate seems delicate in his procedures.
I guess... Even if we were to confront Asano, I'm not sure how we'd get around the fact that she can control us with the Geist system.
Indeed. And she may have given him such control, at least maybe in a limited quality, to protect himself from any unwanted attacks.
Well, you and my lady are the ones with the brains, as well as the commander.
Don't sell yourself short, Arth.
I am a weapon. I have been a weapon.
You stole the weapon of not an enemy drone, but an enemy commander, and use it as your own. That's not something a thoughtless object does, is it?
No, you're right. I'm a little bit too greedy for that. Sometimes we can't
Greedy.
help but want more.
It's not such a bad thing to want for more things, no? It seems very human.
Well, it better be something that you don't forget either, Rox.
Oh, I want for simple things. Cup of tea, perhaps.
Yes, well, folk like you and Mika are still organic enough to need it, so you best not neglect yourselves like my dear Joe.
The doctor is following a very dangerous path. I hope that someone can pull her out of it.
I swore to follow her down whatever path that she chose. Whatever
Even
I
if
say
you-
might not hold enough weight.
You'd follow her down a path even if you knew it was wrong? Even if you knew that deep down it's not what she would have wanted? If she had stopped to think about it just for a little bit more? You have more sway than you think you do.
Can only hope. And you? You have someone who'll watch your back? Who'll call you out when you think you've gone too far? Or are you the one who's willing to go that far? Because I would, if it meant Joe didn't have to bloody her hands.
There are going to be things that will need to be done. Sometimes it's better not to be tied to anybody. But might not have choices in that matter, whether we are tied to somebody or not.
Still, it makes it worth it if you have someone.
I suppose.
Well, I don't know about you, but we have two precocious young ones. I'm not sure what they've been up to.
Well, I feel like Miko might have been up to Lily, but I guess that depends on how preoccupied Lily was with the mechs.
Look, I'm not sure if I fully approve of Lily yet, but she seems like an alright. She seems alright right now. I don't know. I don't know, what do you think? Normally I'd ask Joe, but Joe's... well, she needs to think.
Everyone needs an anchor, right? Jocasta
Using my words
might-
against me.
Hmm.
Crafty one, Rox.
A ship needs an anchor, but the anchor is nothing but a weight without a ship. You think
That's
you
what
need
they're all
the
the same to make it one whole, though.
Hmm.
Besides, the ship needs a crew. Can't run without it. That's why I check in on all the engineers.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps Mika will be the anchor to Lily. As strange as it might be to consider Mika the explosive one, the anchor.
I'm sure that rambunctiousness will keep that busy mind focused on the present.
Or driver insane. One of the two. No.
Sometimes you need a little bit of focus. It's hard when there's too many thoughts in your head.
Or too many people in your head.
Arth blinks. Thinks about the 4 people who may or may not be haunting her right now.
Mm-hmm. I think Roxanne's gonna try something real quick.
Oh. Go on.
I think nothing. I'm gonna think of a number. Just very loudly, I guess, in my mind, and think about Arth.
What
and
number
try
do you
and-
think of?
Oh, I don't know. Let's think of a random number, say 4,269.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, mm-hmm. Fine, I hate you. I'm assuming your intent is to see if Arth picks up on this.
Mm-hmm. Arth, do me a favor and think of a number. And then blast that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say without rolling, that's a pretty simple enough task that, yeah, Arth, you almost immediately, not so much hear as get the mental impression of that number, that 4,269, from Roxanne. The moment after she says, think of a number.
Sure. Do I realize that's from Roxanne, or is that just...
I would say the impression feels a little like Roxanne, but it's still kind of foreign to you, so you're maybe not like certain it's a thought from Roxanne, but the impression does feel like her.
Sure, I'm thinking of a number?
Would that number happen to be 4,269?
Yeah. I mean, the thought was kind of flavored like... kind of tasted like you, weirdly.
So, a fun note to keep in mind as we move forward. Not so private up here anymore.
Okay, and this is a problem... Arthas does not understand how this is a problem.
The commander has perhaps gotten a better grasp on this newfound connection than the rest of us, so consider private conversations not necessarily private. And also that you can receive and also transmit.
Seems like an advantage. We could have conversations without, well, PRV messages coming or using the comm system.
Glad you see the positive in it.
Art still does not understand why this is the problem.
Just
It's
gonna
like-
leave it at that.
It's like oh, this is a great advantage. We could use this for combat. This is like if anyone's hurt, it's like, yeah, if anyone's hurt, we can just shout for the other person. Actually, wait, could we passively monitor everyone's health? Then I could figure out when any of you idiots are going back to collapse from from sleep deprivation.
It also
You know,
means you
why don't
probably know when
you-
any of them are otherwise occupied.
Mm-hmm. You know, why don't you try and figure out where Jocasta is then? And press her on some issues. See what she thinks. Literally.
That's it.
He's like, well, I'll do that as long as you, well, you're the one who's closest with the commander. You should make sure you check in with him.
Oh, I already did. He made his feelings quite clear.
In a good way or a bad way? Like, does he not like the squad anymore? Are you two okay? Are you like Arthur's very concerned?
Did y'all break up? What happened?
He's been reflecting on some things. He's
Oh,
not
so
mad at the squad.
Oh, so he needs some time to think. All right. Well, I'm sure you'll do. Are you going to keep him company while he's thinking? I've always found that Joel
No,
enjoys
you
it when I
should.
just sit.
I think I shall continue to give him space. But I would encourage you and the other members of the squad to speak to him.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if you two are fighting or not, or I don't know. I've always found that Joel
Why
likes
would
it
you
when
think we're fighting?
You didn't sound very happy, or I don't know. You're usually a bit more. The way you speak, you just have a bit more of a. How do I flavor this, or how do I think about it? Like, I think Arthur's been getting psychic impressions from when people talk. So like, Arthur's sure like you feel a little bit different. Like it's not. It's like a subtle difference. Like you normally like, if like because Arth does not.
Can I interrupt this for a brief moment?
Yeah.
Can I have you two both roll off d20s real quick?
Okay.
Okay. Let's see, red or blue?
Do we add anything to this?
Nope.
Red? Okay. I got a 2.
Uh-oh.
I got a 12.
Oh, well. In that case, while you are certainly getting psychic impressions from conversations, Arth, something about Rox's are a little muddled, so you can't really get any direct impression as far as her emotional state right now.
Yeah. Okay, so Arthur's just like, well, you just feel different today. Like, I don't know.
Does Roxanne get anything from this?
I mean,
Just lockdown.
I don't think
Arthur's
it's a
being
lockdown thing. I think it's,
Yeah.
I think Arth doesn't seem like Arth's trying to hold back what they're thinking. So Arth, what are you thinking right now?
Arth is like being incredibly honest right now. Arth is like, you just feel like it's one of the things that they do, but they try to be honest and upfront. And I think Arth is just trying really hard to just explain in their own words what they feel when she's thinking about the flavor of the the psychic impression that she gets from Roxanne. It's how she recognized that like Roxanne's like number popped in a bit.
Mhm.
And then she's also thinking, like, hey, we haven't seen the commander in a while, but I think, Roxanne is the one who's closest to him. I think Rox is the one who's really should check in with him, and sort of like, hey, are you doing okay? Right? Like, I don't know if you're, like, we're having a heavy conversation. I'm just concerned about you.
Mm.
Aww.
I appreciate your concern, Arth, but I'm fine.
Okay. Well, I'll continue my rounds. Make sure you don't stay up too late.
Sure.
Arth has no clue whether you're being honest or not right now because you're feeling you're being very muddled right now. It's like Arth's just gonna like take a look at the clutter around and be like, please don't pull a Joe and stay up for another 6 hours. And is going to turn around and walk out and look for Mika and Kenny.
And I say, when you turn around, Kenny and Mika are just at the entrance.
They're just standing there, like, listening in, like...
I
Like-
love that. That's actually my favorite thing. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that, absolutely. So yeah, Arth, you wheel around, and yeah, Ketty and Mika are just there at the lap of the tent, just hanging out.
Yay, an audience.
Oh, Arth is genuinely surprised. Like she did not notice, was not keeping an awareness, and is like you can like actually see her. Like you can't see her jump, but you can hear the rattle of the charm that's on her on her sword
Yeah.
as it jangles a bit as she like comes to a really sharp stop. Oh, Ketty, Mika, where'd you come from? When did
Oh,
you get
good,
here?
you're all here.
Oh, okay.
I'm going on a date tomorrow. I need to go shopping.
You're going on a date? When? Where?
Something about coffee. I'm supposed to get Lily coffee.
Anchor, ship, sailing.
Like Arth very much cuts Roxanne like not a glare, but like a look like shush you.
You see the shit-eating grin.
Like, look, Rox,
Sailing?
this is a serious conversation. We need to prepare Mika for her date.
Sailing?
Do you have a knife?
Yeah, I have the one Arth gave me. Wait, I think.
Excellent. A quintessential thing to have on a date.
Wrong.
Really?
For self-defense purposes, I believe.
Yeah, just in case you need to
Sure.
defend your date. You never know what's gonna happen on the streets.
Oh.
Yes, self-defense.
Okay.
Oh, I believe it was also mentioned that clothes must be purchased for this date. So that is also an objective. I'm not sure if this is during the date or before. as a
Arth like
lead-up.
looks at what you're wearing, looks at what everyone else is wearing, goes, I see no problem.
I mean, Mika is basically in like fatigues and a tank top.
Yeah, Arth is still like, I see no problem.
Well, I mean, the
Lily
biggest problem would
Told me I needed
probably
to
be
dress
that
up, though.
because all your stuff was, uniform things, random parts of your clothing are still branded with PRV logos.
Oh, ew.
Did you want?
But yeah, Lily told me I'm supposed to dress up as well.
How would you like? What impression would you like to give Lily on this date?
Oh, I don't know. It's been so long since we've gone on a date.
Oh, you should give perhaps the impression that you love her.
I do, and she knows that. Oh wait, do we have any of the snacks from the capital with us still? I should check my pockets.
I mean, that box of chocolates.
There's probably still maybe a couple left in there.
I think she likes chocolates. I don't think she's had chocolate before. I know I hadn't before we're.
You know, I think we can afford to buy new ones.
Oh, okay.
I think I read somewhere that flowers are a good. They're usually a good thing to give for a date, right? Rox,
guess
you're,
so.
you're.
What do you do with flowers?
Rox,
What's
you
their
date?
purpose?
Tell me.
You smell
I
the
don't
flowers.
really do the dating thing much. Mostly date. Singular.
Ooh. What is the Okay. Never. I'd like to close that line of questioning. It is not pertinent right now.
Okay, no, but I'm curious though.
That's
so,
for you to guess and Roxanne to know.
Fair enough. We'll get there.
Or all the NPCs that she's killed to know.
Also fair.
So perhaps we. Oh, did you have a set time for the rendezvous of your date?
I think she said tomorrow afternoon.
Well, I guess we're getting up bright and early then. That means everyone needs to sleep. Stares at Roxanne.
I don't know why you're looking at me. Doc's not here.
Oh, that's right. I should get Joe. Oh, wait. No, wait. Where's Joe? We should ditch. It's Mika's first date. Okay, is it your first date? I don't know. It's your...
Well, no, it's just been a really long time.
Okay,
it's,
so
you know-
basically a first date. We need Joe. Joe knows what to do, right?
Joe, you date?
Joe, you date. Joe,
Yeah,
famous
Joe-
for dating.
Yeah, Joe went on that
Jocasta,
one
who bought
date.
us?
Jocasta went on that one date with Witch, I'm
Witch?
sure.
Yes, I wasn't very happy about it, but, well...
I don't think she was either.
Well, you've gotten ticked off the first box where you're going on a date with someone you would enjoy going on a date with.
Is that important?
Yes,
the other
definitely.
the other bit is to have fun,
Oh.
I think. I think it's supposed to be to have fun, right? Have meaningful conversation, figure out whether or not you well, you've already figured out that you liked each other, so you know what? I don't know.
If it sounds
She's busy
pertinent-
working on mech, so I can't make out with her right now.
Well, this sounds like the great opportunity for you to make out.
Yes, that was the plan.
Just
So
don't spill the
then-
coffee.
I would say, just as you're all thinking, you have two options. It's late enough in the day that if you head into Redsham right now, a good chunk of things will probably be closed because it's later enough in the day, but there's probably just a few things you can catch open as far as maybe buying some clothes or some flowers, maybe simple stuff like that. Probably not too hard. Or alternatively, if you don't want to bother with that, then you could go with Art's plan. Get some sleep, get up early in the morning, and go then. It's up to you guys.
Big fan of sleep.
Yo, same.
Do we have any money?
Is that
I'm sure
Uh,
we could obtain some money from one of the
I
That's a
can.
good question.
Others.
Did we get paid as part of the military?
So, no, not sadly,
really.
no, not really, no, not you guys. Some people in the military, people who don't look like all of you, get paid to be in the military.
I could ask Shadi for some funds for this date.
And like, well, and then Arth is going to very, like, look not particularly happy about it. It's like, well, I guess I could phone my grandparents.
You do not seem very sure about that statement. Perhaps I am sure I can find something. I would like to assist with this date. This will be my form of assistance.
So then, I guess my final call you all before we montage ourselves away is, as the evening sets in, what do each of you do before you part for the evening? Who, if at all, else are you bringing besides just Joe, I assume? And who are you asking for money?
Shadi.
Are we asking, or is Roxanne just gonna fucking steal money from somebody?
Okay, who are you stealing money from? Keep in mind, these are resistance fighters. They're not just walking around with like cash in their pockets. Like,
How much money does the commander have?
I was hoping you were gonna say that. Well, he is the son of a fascist leader of an entire nation, and so probably has a little band or two walking around in his pocket somewhere. He probably has some cash on him. I mean, it's not a thing you've investigated personally, unless you rifled through his pockets before.
Oh, pockets lead somewhere, right?
Oh,
I had a horrible follow-up joke to that I'm just gonna leave.
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
sure- I'm leaving it right there.
She's definitely rummaged through his pockets before.
Then yes, you would know that he keeps a personal wallet, which tends to have. I haven't figured out what standard currency is in this world, honestly. I didn't think it would become important.
It has
but
enough for a cute outfit for Mika. Is what I'm hearing.
I'd say it honestly has enough for a cute outfit for each of you.
Can I pick his pocket and leave a note where the money was that's just like
I'm gonna need you to roll. If your goal is to sneak in, I'm gonna need you to roll. Let's go with
Am
recon.
I stealing it from his pocket?
I mean, from his wallet.
From his wallet? Is he with his wallet, or is the wallet just by itself?
It's a wallet. He usually either wears it on him or he keeps it in his cabin by himself. So you could go
Right.
check his cabin if you want.
It's like, is he in there? Is he in there? Is the wallet in there by itself?
Let's see. Oh, it is.
And Tamir's not in there?
He's not in there.
Perfect. Cool. I'm gonna go steal it.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm gonna steal money out of it.
I will say there is comfortably enough money for, I would say, the 5 of you, if you're including Joe, to definitely re-outfit yourselves, no question. To definitely get a good breakfast and/or lunch in town, and maybe do something else. And if you took all the money for that, you're probably still leaving him with at least a couple of bucks. How much you taking?
She'll take enough for Mika for everyone else to get a nice outfit. Not herself. And she'll write something to the effect of, thank you for your contributions to the Mika date fund. With a like heart.
Incredible.
Also, talk to the rest of the Lance maybe, instead of sulking in your cabin.
That's me. Well,
Hot
money stolen,
kettle.
note left. I would say
you're gonna be insane.
the camera will slowly fade following the night as that, and staying on that note and following the timing as it goes later into the evening. You see the door open, a figure footstep in, look at the note. And although we don't see the figure, see the figure's hand or anything, creep in, we do hear a familiar voice sigh hard and just, she could have just asked.
Yeah, but I'm mad at him right now, so I ain't talking to him.
Mad at him for calling you out? What did he do? It sounds like he did anything wrong.
Ugh! He doesn't have to do something wrong for me to be mad at him.
That's fair. Listen, he's a good boy. He's a good man, Savannah. He's a good man.
I'll believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
You know what? I'll call you on that later. Any case, so with the morning assembled, I guess I'll say obviously Arth wakes up first and goes around to gather you all for your rounds. You all get yourselves ready and
Morning.
start to.
Mika is actually up early this for a change because she's just super like kind of nervous, kind of excited. What am I doing?
Your energy's gonna wake up the whole tent, but I like it. Good morning, Ketty.
Good morning. I am prepared for helping with the date.
It's like,
So,
and good morning to you, Roxanne. Did you actually sleep today?
If it brings you comfort to think that.
So that's a no. I should
It's
have
a
expected
yes,
that.
but gotta keep you on your toes.
It's like you're it's like not really you're killing me, but more like, but very much like you're killing me, Roxanne.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Keeping that in the
Good
end.
work. Good work.
Anybody else coming along with the 5 of you, or just the 5 of you?
I want to go find Tamir.
Okay. Okay. I mean, you gotta have at least one. You gotta have
pure levels of shivering in your voice upon
comment.
saying that, incredible. So,
Oh my gosh.
you'll find Tamir actually just coming out of his cabin. He has pants on and still has a shirt slung over his shoulder. He has a cup of coffee in his hand, which he's clearly just barely starting up the first few sips of. Oh, good morning, Ketty. They all leave you behind, or they haven't left yet?
Oh, we have not left yet. I wanted to ask if you would like to accompany us for date shopping.
He looks, takes a sip, and just, my money's already coming along, so I might as well, yes?
Oh, you provided the funds?
He just kind of blanks and just blinks a few times. Yes. Yes, I did.
Oh, thank you. That is very kind of you. But yes, if you would like, I think it would be nice for you to join us so that we could all have time together.
Tamir looks and just, I assume the entire Lance is coming along?
Yes.
I see. And he kind of looks like he's about to say something, but before he says it, Shoddy is walking by and just, go, you fucking prude! And he just folds the finger in and just, I suppose it's decided for me then, yes?
Yes, I share the same sentiments I should have just said out loud.
And he just, I'm almost unsure how to respond to that, just, it's good to see you growing into yourself, Ketty.
Thank you. And then Kenny just pulls him into a little quick hug.
Yeah, he
and then
side hugs from you while taking some more sips from his coffee and just, let me finish this, please, and we'll get going.
Oh, okay. I will accompany you while you finish, and then I can lead you to everyone else.
Sounds good. And he kind of just sits on the steps of his cabin and offers a spot next to him while he just sits and sips at his coffee for a little bit. Doesn't really speak much, but just calmly sips a little. But you can kind of see him thinking through things. And Ketty, you're slightly more psychically perceptive than the rest of the Lance, so it starts off as sort of like you're able to kind of perceive bits of what he's thinking through, and there's clearly one central figure, maybe. No, all of you are definitely on his mind as a bit of turmoil, but maybe one of you more than the other. But while at first there's sort of that flat line across his mouth as he's sort of just thinking through this, his mind quickly moves from that to memories of watching you all group hug, or introducing himself to all of you, Mika colliding with him on her way to meet with you all. You know, the way you all coordinated fighting in Redsham. And despite still kind of having that glum look on his face, it, as he sips his coffee, slowly morphs into a slight smile as he thinks about all of you. And just, all right, that's enough out of me. And he kind of throws his shirt over his head very quickly. He's noticeably, for maybe the first time you've seen him, not really wearing something more like formal-esque. He's, always seems to wear at least a military uniform by default. But now he kind of has a baggy, sort of like, not super baggy, but a decent pair of like cargos and like effectively like it's like a hoodie, but it crops at like just above his navel.
Oh, okay.
What? Do I look strange?
No.
I figure I'm no longer a noble, at least not by position, so I should try to dress like the common folk, yes? I once wanted to wear a hoodie.
Yes, I think you look lovely, different, but in a good casual way. And Kenny looks him up and down, and in her mind, the idea is oh, he's wearing new clothes, so that can only mean one thing. And so she grabs I think as he's getting up, goes to grab his hand and looks him dead in the eyes and says, "Oh, do you need assistance for your date?"
My what now?
Your date. I assume with Roxanne, but it could be with anybody.
I...
What's your name, bitch? Sorry.
Roxanne, I got you.
He cuts his eye to the ground, a bit of pink forming at the side of his cheeks, and just, I had not made any formal request for such.
Oh. I figured because of the new attire, it meant you wanted to dress up for the date.
you'll see him kind of bring his hands down and kind of clutch and cover his stomach, which is exposed for maybe the first time in his life. And he just... Do you think she'll like it?
Yes, of course. You look very lovely.
Thank you. Okay, let's get going.
Okay.
So we cut ourselves away as you were all able to borrow a vehicle. It's one of the larger sort of SUV upsized vans that's been up armored for the distance. It's one of the ones that does look a little bit more undercover, though. It could easily pass for more civilian affair. You were all able to mount up and take the quick little 1 hour drive through some low forested woods, and slowly, as you can hear the coast approaching and sort of gently hear the waves at your side around you and the town building up noise around you, the sound of industry and marketplace and people talking all around you, you start to recognize, well, you are officially back in Redchim, a place you have not been since you have all fought over it. It looks so much different. Still scarred by war, still damaged and wounded, but it certainly carries that same stain of humanity. People are still caring about their lives. Stores are still open. Children still walk and play in the street. People still eat food on the sidewalk and hold hands and kiss. People still go about their lives, even as war has ravaged this place. Thankfully, we are not here to reflect on the horror of war right now. We're here to go shopping. You find yourself at a decently sized clothing emporium where, at least, I'd say anything you're looking for relatively is able to be found. So, my question then, to the 4 of you who have had your outfits sponsored, I guess the 3 of you right now, we'll figure out what Jacasa's wearing next episode. What do you decide to get for yourselves? What new outfit are you now sporting for yourselves as a pilot? Take full liberty on this as you want, and assume that there's enough money to cover whatever you're looking for. Go on. Have fun.
So we're looking for pilot dress or like
I'd say
not
you,
pilot.
you still have your pilot suits that still work perfectly fine with no problem, and you can honestly, I'll probably even be given new ones by Mika for your new mechs. Not an issue. So you're mostly looking for like civilian clothes, honestly, just actual clothing to wear, given that you've only owned military uniforms for the past at least decade of your lives.
Clothes given by Lily?
True. That's fair. You have those. You have those, I guess, if you'd like. But you have here the option to at least, fully recustomize and figure out your own civilian look, I guess, based on whatever you'd like to buy. If you want to buy nothing, that's totally fine. But, I guess the 3 of you that, courtesy of Roxanne taking money for you, what are you getting?
I think Ketty doesn't really have much of a reference for civilian clothing. So I think you said Tamir is wearing like a crop hoodie, right?
Yep.
Sort of. So I think she just buys the exact same thing.
Yeah, twinsies!
We go
what's
to
gonna
buy
be so
it, and
short
Arth
on
immediately. I think Arth immediately goes and's like, "Oh hell no, honey."
That hoodie is gonna be so short on Ketty.
That's true. It's gonna be short some cleavage there, love. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's gonna be some underboob there.
If Art stops her, I think Ketty looks and is like, "Oh, what is the problem?"
Arth is just like has a face just like, "Oh no, exposed stomach," and Arth like goes and pokes it and is like, "That's dangerous."
How so?
It's like, well, like Arth is not thinking about it. It's like literally like, okay, like you can. It's very easy to get like punched there, or if they have a knife, it's easy to stab. And like, well, I mean, we're not squishy organics anymore, but our internals are still. Well, most of our important internals are still there, so it's good to have at least that covered up so people don't see it, or at least can't, tear through very easily. And
Joe chops you at the back of the forehead, so like the back of the head, Arth, and just looks at you and I'm not gonna try her accent. I'm just not gonna try it at all. Just please stop being a mom for 5 seconds. She looks nice.
I mean, yes, but like, look at it. I mean, she looks good, but like, just like, someone's going to. She's exposed.
And I think we all know that if anyone were to lay a hand on Ketty, that they would probably be very swiftly eviscerated by either Ketty or you. So
I mean, well, that's actually.
besides the point, exposing a supposed weak spot that someone would aim for then leaves them open for very calculated return. If you know what they're going to aim for, you always know what to do.
Very easy to also hit people in some weak spots. Actually, Arthur's gonna like look at that hoodie and like see if it's baggy enough to like hide several knives under.
Oh my god.
Tamir, who has been cutting his eyes away as you start looking up under Ketty's shirt, is just like, right, well, okay, if that's fine. Is anyone else getting anything?
Acting so... What's the word I'm looking for? Coquettish? Is that the word?
Prudish?
It's not prudish.
Shy.
Shy. We'll go with shy. That's
Yeah,
like... Didn't you shower with pretty much the entirety of that ship? You're chased. Why act so chaste now?
Listen, I just feel that I have a deeper connection to all of you. I see you all kind of like family in some cases, and thus I feel it would be weird to just stare like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stop talking now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can I peek through his brain?
Yeah, sure. You can try. Go ahead and you don't have to roll psyche for me.
How the fuck do I do that?
You
Oh.
roll d20. Since you don't have psyche, it basically counts as a 5. So roll d20 and hope for a 5 or lower. Hey.
Ooh.
The first image that you're getting is that he is fighting the urge to cover his stomach because he's wondering how you think he looks.
Mm-hmm.
The second, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. He's imagining you changing.
Keeping a clear head. Commander?
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. It's a two-way street.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him almost mustering a very, very minor bit of confidence and reaching into his pocket and pulling his wallet and holding it out to you and just... You didn't take enough for yourself.
I appreciate the gesture, but I am fine.
Are you sure? We should technically be at least in some kind of disguise out here, lest someone know who we are. You never know where the enemy would be. Heptarchy's only deployed just an island away, so it might be...
Yes, that is entirely your intent with handing me that, is that... So...
It's at that point, you kind of, because you're still in his brain, notice his eyes are not on you, but... You know, let's have some fun player narrative of this here. His eyes are on a garment. It's clearly something he's imagining wanting to buy for you, and I'm gonna let you tell me what it is. It doesn't have to be right now.
Okay, yeah.
But I guess the bigger question is, and you can again hold this for later, the bigger question is, do you buy it?
Yes, but not when he's there.
Fair. So, I would say as he's looking away and going over to help facilitate the rest, Mika or Arth, do you buy anything?
Alright. Mika, for one, is like looking at things and like, okay, do I get the vest? Or do I get the, like, dress shirt and suspenders? with the vest, but she's also gonna get lacy black underwear.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, no, the attendant who's working the changing room as you're coming out, you're wondering like vest or shirt and anything. The attendant just goes, "Darling, look at those arms. Vest, please. Do us
Okay.
a favor." So,
And like and for pants, Mika's just like basically gets a nicer version of like BDU styles. Cause like, oh, let's just have pockets, but these look nice and aren't travel worn and ripped at this point.
Gotta have the
I think-
pockets.
Yeah, they gotta have the pockets and they match the vest.
Kenny was just cheering you on the entire time.
It's like I think like Arth like looks at like what Mika's doing, looks at Kenny, he's like, see, pockets. Gotta have pockets on all of your pants.
This has pockets. It's just very rare that many of these pants do not seem to have pockets. It's very inconvenient and also unconventional. I don't understand why.
it's just
Yeah, I
like,
don't understand it either, actually.
doesn't make any sense. We've come so far.
But
in the
this one
future.
has four
We've solved-
pockets.
We've solved fusion power. We've figured out how to create mechs, and we still haven't made equitable women's fashion.
It's crazy.
Shame. In that case, we run ourselves around to Arth. Do you got anything for yourself?
We're gonna wait until Joe gets here.
Fair enough. In that case, regardless of what you all purchase, you all grab, you all sort of gather your belongings. You all are paid for. Roxanne, you pay for yours stealthily while Tamir isn't looking. And as you all sort of step out, you look out into the street, people moving around and happily engaging in their lives. Tamir points across the street and just, "Oh, look, the wonderful looking pastry shop over there. You all mind a snack?"
That would be nice. It'd also be good for the date, correct?
Certainly.
I love snacks.
Arth does
And he
not need
says-
to eat.
And almost in like the weirdest, most like strange show of charisma you think you've ever seen him show, he'll dramatically hook both of his arms out and just, "Well then, darlings."
I think Roxanne will slide an arm through one of them.
He blushes, but tries to hold his
Specifically
composure.
brush his midriff.
Ooh, my little midriff blush. He blushes, but cuts an eye to you, and there is a soft smile.
I think Kenny's staring because she does not understand this gesture. What did you just do?
Teddy, you loop your
Being
arm
oblivious
through
to everyone else's
like a cheek.
relationships in some way. Just like, oh, takes the other arm because it's open.
Yeah. Oh, he happily hooks your arm in and smiles, and even just kind of like kind of like nudges your forehead a bit with his own in a very warm show of affection.
Can I pick his pocket?
Sure.
Again?
What you looking for?
Just his wallet.
I mean, yeah.
Like when one arm is like going through the loop and distracting him, and then the other is filching his wallet out and just putting it in her pocket for a little bit.
I think
I'll
Arth
say-
leans over to Kenny and just goes, You hook your arm through your friends and or partners?
Oh.
Tamir's blush deepens further.
I think Arth is gonna offer her own arm to Joe and Kenny.
Aw.
Kenny like immediately takes it and then smiles because she's learned something new. This is a new gesture she knows now.
Joe takes the
Mika
other
still
arm.
has one arm.
Mika still has one arm.
I take Mika's.
For the long
Aw.
train! The longest train!
Joe takes the other side of your arm, Arth, and almost kind of letting herself briefly feel the affectionate moment, will lean up and kiss you on the side of the cheek.
If Arth could blush, Arth would be blushing so hard right now.
Who says he can't? Robots can blush. Fuck it. It's canon.
Okay, fuck it. Arthur's blushing right now.
Oh,
It is not saying
adorable.
anything, and she stares right forward.
Oh. Well, two of you blushing, all of you arm in arm. The group moves forward, heading off towards a very nice, lovely, and calm pastry and flower shop. A brief reprieve away from the horror of war. And it is within this lovely morning lit scene that we draw tonight's episode to a close. Darlings, thank you for coming out to a lovely comeback episode of Stardust Ghosts. I love getting to just let you guys sit in these characters and explore yourselves. It's so much fun. We'll keep this simple and tight to get us out of here on a reasonable time. Friends, in the order I call you out, please tell me who you are, who you play tonight, where you can be found on the internet, and what you have coming up in the future. Keep it simple and sweet. We'll start directly beneath me, but very, very far from the bottom of the cast list of anybody's list if you know what you're worth with the incredible and incomparable Animated Pizza, Danny's Corner, also known as Just My Favorite Darling. I love you so much.
Hi, it's me, Danny's Corner at Animated Pizza on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter as aforementioned at Animated Pizza. You can find me on Casper the NV Ghost channel every other Tuesday for our Monster of the Week Ghost Hunters game, where we're a Ghost Hunters team looking for ghosts who records all of our adventures. And originally we were getting a bunch of ghosts for some rich guy, but now we do it differently because we're like, this isn't worth it. He sort of sucks, and we're gonna scam him maybe. Excuse me. Then besides that, when this episode airs, I most likely will not be in the chat because I will be on a plane. So if you can check out Hearth Guild's Twitter. That's at Hearth Guild with an S, or Hearth, and you can keep up to date with our convention appearance, because we're going to be hosting a panel at Kineticon talking about being LGBT in the gaming industry. And if you can, we're hoping to have it streamed as well, so if we can do that, make sure you keep a lookout for Friday at, I believe, 1:30 p.m. EST, and we'll see if we can have that streamed. And if not, there will be pictures and other videos and such, so just follow Twitter to see what's going on over there. Besides that, I have a Ko-Fi where you can commission me for art, because I draw sometimes. So it's Ko-Fi, it's Danny's Corner, and that's about it. Thank you very much. C'est la vie.
Thank you, Danny. And if I had a nickel for every time Danny was in a campaign with a bunch of ghosts, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Overuse joke aside, we slide directly to the right of the overlay, over towards someone who I think genuinely needs to be recognized more for their RP chops, for the way that they've grown into an incredible and incomparable storyteller within their time here in the Alliance Roleplay, and I've been so happy to be a part of that journey with them. So of course, I'm going to let you all be reintroduced to the incredible and incomparable Michelle.
Oh, okay. Hello, it's me, Michelle. Yeah, I'm here. I played Arth. I don't exist on the internet, so don't go looking for me. Yeah, if you want to see me by the time this thing airs, well, you've already missed the wonderful, The World Within You, but go check it out
Or if you're
anyways.
smart, you saw it because you're a smart person who watches good content.
Well, I hope you did, because I got to be an actual freaking cat, so you know.
True.
But look, cats are awesome. But otherwise, you can catch me on Friday, where myself and Lucian will be playing Wildermyth. So you know, for Neon Lights Game Night. So come see us. I'm not sure what we'll be doing, but it's gonna be funny. Probably we do come up with weird ass shenanigans. So
It's gonna be awesome.
it's like Foxy may or may not be there. We'll see.
I'll appear probably. We'll see. We are, of course, passing ourselves on over across our lovely and incomparable doc, played by the wonderful and amazing Casper DMB Ghost, who can be found on the internet at Casper DMB Ghost. That is on the Twitter sphere, on the Instagram, and of course also on their own Twitch, where they run their own campaigns and also talk shows, hanging out with awesome personalities in TWG space, and doing great things. So please go check them out and pass them all of your love for us. Tell them Foxy sent you. Moving right on along to the bottom right of your screen to another figure who I think never fails to throw a wrench into this game's lovely and laid out plans, but I think that's the one thing that I love that they bring to games the most, and so thank you for bringing all the chaotic energy that is due of your name. And of course, talking about the internet's one and only Chaotic Darby.
Hi, hello. My name is Darby, otherwise known as Chaotic Darby on the internet. I'm a TTRPG performer, streamer, possum, game designer and all-around menace on the web. You can find me under the handle Chaotic Darby, anywhere a handle is to be held, including up in the sky, in the nice blue sky up above.
Birdie up there.
It's so nice. Ish, kind of. It's getting its footing. When I'm not here, you can find me as the new community head of community outreach, I think is my exact title at Critical Misses. You can also catch me there Monday evenings for the next little while, running a cipher system game called Time and Time Again with my wonderful co-DM Anita, the wonderful Panita, the head of Critical Misses, and yeah, that's kind of where you can find me. I think by the time this comes out, there will be a bundle with a game that I designed in it from Sprinting Owl bundles. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It will be very cool.
Ooh,
Anyways,
exciting. I want to know more about the things.
That's all I got for now, so...
I have been keeping myself with an eye on Time and Time Again. I've been watching it a bit time and I have spare time to do prep. It is an incredible experience to watch. The way that that Darby and Anita pass off GMing and the way they handle narration, I think is such an incomparable experience to be watching. And I think if you're not already hip to it, get hip to it before it's over. It's super cool. I'm not joking. Shameless plugs for my cast and how great they are aside. I will then now shamelessly plug the last member of our incomparable cast. Someone who again brings so much lovely explosion, so much lovely humanity, and just as much homosexuality as this game delivers. In a game full of gay, this person brings just the biggest amount of it in wholesale. I feel like I'm of course talking about the internet's one and only, the incredible and incomparable Ninja Penguin AM, also known as Akemi.
Hey, that's me! Hi, I'm Akemi. She, they. I just played Mika. She, her. You can find me on the internet wherever I exist at Ninja Penguin AM. I make games, I play games, I do stuff. Follow me and see what I do. Monday nights, you can find me over at Friends with Roll Dice for the Mind of the Martyr campaign, which I try to get every Monday, but life happens.
Well, I think that not only have I've been finally trying to get my hand on consuming more content, so I think I'm going to start working through the background of Mind of the Martyr once I finally get myself faced down. So hopefully I will be able to fall back with reviews on that very soon. But I think that more than anything else, having finally started to sit through and consume Akemi's work, I think that there is a certain, how do I phrase this? There is a certain, I guess, like, unenviable, or I guess incredibly enviable personhood that you bring to the things that you do in this space that I think that, like, more people should recognize and be unafraid to bring. You are unabashedly yourself in the things that you do, and I think that that's something you should hold very close to you as you carry forward in your life. If I could give you any advice, may I be so bold. That said, friends, I'll shut the fuck up and make this very simple. I'm Foxy, Big Foxy, your favorite fox. I can be found on the internet at Young Foxy. It's YUNGFOXXII. Sometimes I underscore between it. If you want to know what I'm doing, keep it locked right here on the Alliance Roleplay. Our Discord links and social media chat things will be in the chat right over to your side right there. Hang out with us on Discord, keep an eye on the things that we do on the internet, and we will all see you for right back here at Stardust Ghost in exactly 2 weeks. Take care of yourselves, each other, everybody around you. We love you very much. Be safe and be good. Bye.